Hello, this is Al from Bad Baby Productions. Welcome to this tutorial on how to replace a kick or snare drum in a drummer region in Logic Pro 10. Let's get started. So you're going to have a new session here, and for the purposes of this, we're just going to use something simple. So if you're using the drummer track or drummer plugin from Logic to make your songs, which a lot of us do, and you've created your song and you've cut and pasted and done everything you need to do, but you find out you really don't like the kick, and the kick drums that the stock kick drums are just not cutting it for you, or the stock snare drums, and you want to replace it with a third-party kick. There's actually a pretty simple way to do that, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So I'm not really going to be too concerned about the quality of the sound, dynamics, or the beat. This is just a simple demonstration on how to replace the kick. All right, so we have a pretty simple drum beat here, and what you're going to do is you're going to open up your mixer here, and you're going to go into the drum kit, which is the input here, and the up and down arrow. And you're going to come into the drum kit designer, and you're going to click on multi-output. And when you do that, what happens is you get this plus sign here, and then when you click on it, you get the various components of the drum kit. You know, the kick, snare, toms, hi-hat, and then this track is actually the cymbals. So if you isolate the kick drum, you can hear that you just can hear the kick drum. And what we want to do is we want to make a copy of this so that we can replace it with a third-party kick drum. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a bus send for the kick. And it doesn't matter which bus you use. We're going to use bus 2. And it creates a bus to a new channel for the bus. And we'll name this kick in. And you want to make sure that you take the stereo out. That way you're not getting two outputs to the stereo track. And then what you want to do is you want to come back up into the session here, and you want to create a new audio track. And then what you're going to do is you're going to rename this one. We'll call this kick audio. Okay. And the input for the audio track, we're going to name it bus 2, because that's where the signal is coming from for the kick. So whatever bus you choose, whether it's bus 2 or bus 100, that's the bus that's got to be your input for the track. So we use input here, which is bus 2. Bus 2. Here we go. And for the kick here, you want to make sure that this is set to unity gain for the output. If you don't, you're not going to get any signal in here. So if we do an option click, and we set this, let me just, there we go. So now we're getting a signal in from the kick drum here, okay? All right, so once we got that all set up, we come back into our session. You want to make sure that you don't have cycle mode on, otherwise it'll loop record, which you don't really want here. And you're just going to record. So you hit the R on your keyboard, or you can hit the record button up here. And what's happening is it's just recording the kick drum. Okay, perfect. So let's just trim this up. And now we have an audio duplication or replica of our kick drum here. We'll just solo this out so we can hear it. Okay, perfect. So now what you're going to want to do is you want to go up to track, and you want to do kick replace or double drum track. Now you want to make sure that you've got this track highlighted. Okay, if you have this track highlighted and you do that, you're not going to be able to do it, and you can see it's not going to be lit up here. Okay, so you got to make sure that you have this track clicked. Okay, when you do that, it lights up, replace or double drum track. So it opens up and it creates a MIDI channel, a MIDI track for the audio. Okay, and what happens is for every kick hit, it's giving us a MIDI note. Okay, and what you want to make sure is that you got a MIDI note for each of the kick hits. Some of the kick hits are louder than other kick hits, and the threshold over here will actually adjust the sensitivity of how Logic is looking at that. So if you lower the sensitivity, you can lose, as you can see, you can lose some of the kick hits. If you keep going, eventually you lose them all, except the loudest one, which is right there. So we want all the kick hits here, so we just keep going up until they're all accounted for, and then we can just do kind of eyeball it and make sure that we've got a kick hit for each, a MIDI note for each kick hit. And then over here, you want to make sure the instrument is set to kick. Now here's where you can change it. You can make it a snare or a tom or other. Now I haven't used the other function yet, so I don't want to get into that. But if you were going to do the snare, then obviously we would have made a audio track of the snare drum instead of the kick. But when you choose kick, what happens is it puts the MIDI notes on C1, which is standard for MIDI keyboard where a kick drum actually is. So we just click OK, and there you have it. You got your MIDI track with your kick drum. Now Logic will automatically assign a kick drum to this. Let's take a listen. And it's just a stock kick. So obviously we're doing all this work because we want to use a third-party kick. So you can just come into here and you can go to wherever your third-party kick or drum tracks are. A lot of times I like to go into battery from Native Instruments, and I like to load a kick drum in here. So try to find something fun. Okay. Either way, you get the point. So once you find a kick drum you like, and one thing I should note for you guys is that when it makes the MIDI track, it actually duplicates the velocity of the kick hits as well. So for example, this kick hit here is 127 at velocity, whereas this kick hit is at 37, which is nice, kind of like a ghost kick, but it really gives, it keeps that, that real drummer feel by doing that, which I really love. So now if we take a listen to the whole track, and we mute the original kick drum, there we go. We've replaced the kick drum. Done. And actually, I'm sorry, but I needed to mute the old kick drum. Here we go. Let's try that again. There we go. You gotta make sure you mute both kick drums. Eventually, I will delete this track completely because I won't need it anymore. But there you go. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And look forward for future videos from Bad Baby Productions. We're going to be uploading stuff each week on tips and tricks for Logic, mixing tricks, mastering tricks, piano keyboard tricks, just real interesting stuff. You know, we're just kind of getting started here. So thanks for watching.